Hammerheads, it's an exciting day. We finally got wheels for the car. Let's go check them out. Oh yeah. I apologize for wind noise, but it's raining. I'm gonna get these unloaded. All right, guys, all wheeled in the garage, and you know, cameras just never quite pick it up like your eye does, but these have the perfect amount of stretch on them. No Honda bullcrap with the lips sticking way out. We ain't no camber kids. This is functional street track style fitment. 19 by 10.5 wheels. We went with a 265/35 tire. And I think they're perfect. Nice wide wheel. Little bit of stretch, tuck up in the fender when this thing gets slammed on its nuts. But we're gonna throw those on and see how much lower we need to go. I think this thing is gonna have to go, it's gonna have to go at least 1.5 inches lower. But big hyped Accelera tires. These are a good budget Indonesian tire. No, they're not Continentals, they're not Pirellis, they're not Toyos, they're not, not anything like that. But these are also like half to 1/3 the price of any of those. So if I can buy 2 or 3 of those for the price of Continentals, I'm buying those all day. No brainer. I don't care about brands. I don't care about, tags and having to have the best and being that guy. I want good products that are at a fair price, and I think that's what that is. So we're gonna stab those on that. See how awesome it looks. All right, car's jacked up, lugs are cracked loose. Let's get those old wheels off, get the new wheels on. And for right now, I'm just gonna use the stock lug bolts. They will fit the new wheels and tires just fine. Hey, stay there. So, before we throw this new one on, we can talk real quick about width. And hopefully you guys can see that. This tire is a full inch wider. This is an 8.5 wheel. This is a 10.5 wheel. So this wheel is 2 inches wider. That's why we get this stretch on the edges, which is gonna let us tuck up in the fender nicely and get awesome fitment. So hopefully the camera's picking that up, but this is a lot wider. A tiny bit taller, that's no big deal. We're gonna gain just a little bit of ride height, but when we lower it, we'll have plenty of ground clearance, but we'll be able to fill out this fender and look low while retaining some ride height. So, let's throw these units in there. And you might be thinking, geez, Jim, that's a whole lot more wheel and tire. Is it going to be a lot heavier? Well, let's try. I'm saying this is maybe only a pound or 2 more, which is no big deal. Being a lightweight forged wheel, that's saving us a lot of weight. And it's really, like I said, it's really not that heavy. So, not as dramatic as you might think. let's drop her down. Now we still got way too much ride height, and I knew that, but now we can figure out how much lower we gotta go. We gotta go a solid 2 inches lower on this unit. But the fitment is sick. We could do a tiny spacer in the rear end. We may not. But wheels look awesome. The stretch is so perfect. Lower this thing 2 inches-ish, money. So let's get the other side done. All right, guys, all 4 tires and wheels on. Car got a little whore bath, AKA hose off. It's nasty outside right now, so she ain't getting a real bath yet, but gosh dang, those wheels are perfect. What I'm trying to do with this car, track style, street style, you know, a little bit hot boy, not too over the top, just a perfect balance, in my opinion. Maybe someday we'll do a hot boy lip wheel, like a big 3-piece wheel with a lip, some chrome johns or something. But I really do like this wheel, and this tire setup, sick. So if anybody's looking for like the perfect, about as wide as you can go and totally flush, and by totally flush, you see what I mean, fitment, that's a 19 by 10.5 ET35 with a 265 35 R19 on it, and it is just a little stretched, nothing major, a little stretch, nothing crazy. So when we lower this thing, lower it, we hit bumps, that tire will tuck right up in that fender, super nice. We won't have any rubbing. We're not gonna cut our tires with a fender lip. Perfect fitment. So if you got an A5, an A4, that back could get a 5mm spacer. But if you have an A5 or an A4 from, I don't know, somewhere around like 09, 2010, something like that, up to like, I think it's 17. This is the wheel and tire fitment for you. Absolutely love it. No rubs. Turns full lock, no problem. Let me turn the wheel. Show you this. Show you these meats we got on this unit. 265. Good grief, I need to clean this interior. But a 265 is a pretty wide tire, guys. I mean, that's a good bit of tire on that unit. Look at that dog. Sheesh. So, and believe it or not, these cars actually have pretty good angle, stock. You wouldn't think an all-wheel drive car would have that kind of angle. Not too bad. So, that's it, guys. We are done. I'm gonna go take this unit for a drive and see how she does. That's a 400 treadwear tire. So that's kind of like borderline on a dailyable tire. Yeah, you could do a 300 or a 200 treadwear, but they're gonna wear out really fast. So I'm hoping to get 25,000 miles out of these, maybe, and I'll be happy with that, as cheap as they are. They're a cheap budget brand tire that really performs quite well from what I understand. Accelera sponsors a couple of drift events and a lot of YouTubers, and maybe someday if you guys like, comment, and subscribe, I might get some more followers and I might get free tires in the future because I paid for those. So, like I just said, guys, do all this stuff, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment. If you have one of these cars, this is your wheel and tire fitment. I'm telling you, this is it. It don't get no better in my opinion. So, thanks a lot. Peace out.